Like if you put something on your calendar, it should be real. Like what a lot of people do is they overtime block. So they'll put like 2 hours of lead gen, and then immediately after that, this appointment and this and that, da da da. And they don't give themselves like time to breathe or pee or like adapt to like the flexibility of the day. And so if one of your time blocks doesn't matter, then nothing matters. All right, let's transition. What do you guys have to talk about this week? Give me your biggest challenges or script scenario that you want to go over, or role play, whatever. How can I help?
Hi, John. My challenge right now is time. I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can reprogram my body so that I can only require 4 hours of sleep each night.
No,
And
we all have the
I'm
same amount of
serious.
time. We all have the same amount of time in a day, right?
Right.
So how come some people get a lot more done and some people don't?
I think because people know how to delegate. Some people know how to delegate better than others, perhaps.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely a reason.
Time blocking.
I don't. What did you say,
Time-
Dylan?
Dylan said time blocking. Yeah, but
Mhm.
I like action blocking. My friend Jen Schiff talks about this. I have a recording somewhere that I'll send you regarding business planning. Actually, if you go on, we have a Facebook channel. Now it's new. It's called the Four Aces Nation. If you hit me up, I'll send you a link to it, or you can just Google it. In there, there's a business planning workshop with Jen Schiff, and she talks about some of this stuff. But that's a good recording to go watch to get a lot of value on the time blocking side. What I would tell you is like time blocking is usually the problem with time blocking is people don't really commit to the time block. So they say they're going to do something between 9 and 10, like lead generation, but it's like lead generation. So it's super vague. Like what Jen would tell you to do is action block that time and say between 9 and 10, I'm going to call these 10 people. And then every day you should know exactly which 10 people you're going to call during that time. It's like one of our former CEOs of KW when I worked there, he would work out every morning and he would decide the night before what workout he was going to do. And so he would either put his biking shoes or his running shoes next to his bed. So when he woke up, he just either put on the biking shoes or the running shoes. The decision was already made for him. It's kind of like Steve Jobs, right? Or Mark Zuckerberg or some of these CEOs where they only wear one outfit because they make a lot of choices every single day. And so they want to streamline their life and they don't want to use excess energy making a decision about what to wear that day. So they wear a uniform every day, even if it's not a traditional uniform. So there's a lot of ways to kind of shortcut that stuff. But a lot of it that works the best is to, be very intentional and respect. Like if you put something on your calendar, it should be real. Like what a lot of people do is they overtime block. So they'll put like 2 hours of lead gen, and then immediately after that, this appointment and this and that, da da da. And they don't give themselves like time to breathe or pee or like adapt to like the flexibility of the day. And so if one of your time blocks doesn't matter, then nothing matters. So there's a really cool book. It's not that cool actually. It's a great book, but it is a boring book. It's called Getting Things Done: The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. GTD, I believe, is how it's like abbreviated. That book has a really interesting system for getting clear on how you want to process information and the system by which you track things and decide, because everything is not important. So there's these categories that if you learn to decide what category things go into, you can decide how to handle it. And so some things are urgent, but they're not important. Some things are important, but they're not urgent, right? Some things are important and urgent, which means that like those are the things that need to get done right now because they're both. So it's got a lot of tips and tricks in there that can help you with that stuff, and is helpful and pretty cool. So I would recommend that. And and then the last thing is a time exercise. So it can be really helpful for you to get a time tracker. So if you Google time tracker sheet, it'll come up, I'm sure. But it basically should be broken down to like 15-minute intervals throughout the day, and take like 3 or 4 days where you're just doing your normal thing and write down what you did the prior 15 minutes every 15 minutes. And so maybe you stop, you have a meeting for an hour and then you fill in the whole hour before and you're like, I was gonna be. But ideally, you're able to really reconcile everything you're doing. And in that, you're going to look back and you're going to be able to identify patterns of where you lost time, where you wasted time, where you could have delegated activities that you didn't have to be the one to do. So if you can do that time tracker for a couple days, I'm happy to sit with you guys and go through it with you and help you identify how to best tweak kind of your natural behavior of what you're already doing to get you a more efficient outcome. And then if you really want to take it on steroids, buy yourself a chess clock. And every time you're working, whether you're prospecting or whatever you're really doing, if you're working, you press the button and you start timing. And then when you take a break or you're not working, you press the other button and it stops. And what you'll find is that you're not actually working nearly as much as you think you're working.
Thank
Is that
you.
helpful?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. What else you guys got? I have a really good video for you guys. So if you just want to watch the video, just let me know and I'll send it over and then you can do that instead. But I do want to be here, obviously, to help you for whatever questions or topics you want to talk about. Joe's doing a bang up job. This is good. This just shows that Joe's been doing a good job with you guys because you're not all like dying for information. So that's good. It means Joe knows what he's talking about.
I got a technical question. So
Yeah, sure.
if investment related, so if we wanted to avoid capital gains tax, what is a great way to go about that without a 1031 exchange?
That's it. Don't take the depreciation. Move back into it.
So the 1031 exchanges you can't use for personal property, right?
So if you're married, get married.
That's in the works.
You have a $500,000 limit if you're married. So get married and then you have 500,000 of capital gains exposure to shield. And then the other best practice of that is sell your house when you hit that limit. So if when you gain 250,000 or 500,000 appreciation in equity, even if you like your neighborhood, even if you love your house, just sell your damn house and move across the street, reestablish your basis. And it's good advice for your database, right? Look through your database and find out people who are on the cusp of that threshold and give them that advice, because a lot of people I know, right, they bought their house for $35,000, they lived there for 30 years. Their appreciation, was capped and non-tax 500,000, and they had 500,000 of exposure for capital gains. And that's nonsense. If somebody had just come to them in the 90s and said, hey, sell your house, move across the street, it wouldn't be in that position. So, yeah, that's one you kind of have to handle as you go. It's kind of hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube on that one. Sorry, hope that's helpful.
A little bit.
I mean, get married. I thought that was good advice. Come on. Give me props on that.
The get married part, or just selling applies if you're selling a personal property, right?
So take your primary residence, put a tenant in it, and then after the tenant's in there and it's established as a rental, then 1031 exchange it.
Why?
Because then you can 1031 exchange it because it's a rental property. You have to make it a rental property first in order to 1031 exchange it. But if you put tenants in there and season it that way, then you can't.
But if you turn a rental property into a primary residence, can't you avoid capital gains tax that way because you're less than
back? Yeah, you have to go the full way back around though.
Yeah.
Right. The shorter term option is to just put a tenant in and then later 1031 it. But all of that being prefaced with the caveat that I am not a tax professional and that you should always seek the advice and opinion of a tax professional for these related items.
Of course.
Glad I got that disclosure in. That's good.
So that's a good thing you got that.
Hino will splice that thing right in there. So. What other questions do you guys have? don't worry. This snippets of this might end up on our YouTube channel, but nobody watches it yet anyway, so you guys don't have to worry. You won't become YouTube famous just yet.
So I have good friends that are retired that just sold their home because it was a great time to get top dollar. But they're happy in their apartment, and I've been trying to nudge them slowly to start looking at properties again, you know, because they've been in the apartment over a year and stuff. And I'm just not sure how to nudge them a little more. You know, I don't know yet all the different great scripting things that we have, but
I got this one easy. So when was the last time you talked to him?
a week ago.
Cool. So call him today and say, remember when we talked a week ago? And they're going to say yes, right? And then you're going to say, in the last 7 days, rates have gone up 1/4 point.
Okay.
You just lost $40,000 of purchasing power. Your payment just went up X, and the money, the interest you're going to pay on the life of the loan between last week's rate and this week's rate is X. And that X is like a lot of money, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. And that's how you get them off the fence. You say, do you want it to go up another 1/4 point? Because it might go down, but it's probably going to go up. And if you look at the chart, we were at the bottom, and the rates have just continued to creep up. So again, I can't predict the future, and I don't know if we're going to get another golden moment of ultra lifetime low rates. But you know, they're not going to shoot up to 5, but they're more expensive today than they were 7 days ago. Only one way to solve that problem: take action. Stop waiting for a deal. The deal's not going to come. Not only did rates go up, prices went up too. Now it's really more expensive. That's not good. Not helpful?
Yeah, somewhat. Because they cashed out their house, they're not really interested in a loan. They're more of a cash player.
Well,
and with the low inventory that we keep running into, it's
why
like.
So ask this question: why the hell are you going to buy cash when you can leverage your money at the lowest expense it's ever been? You can't find a better investment than 2.5%. You know, you're going to get 2.5%, 3% on your loan. Let's get crazy, call it 3.5%. Your money can't outperform a 3.5% interest rate. Like, that's crazy talk. You should at least get a loan for half of it, or frick, 40%, 30%. Get a loan for something. Like, that's free money. That's dumb. That's just a bad investment to go cash on that purchase. Yeah. And some people might be like, oh, well, fixed cost. I'm retired, blah, blah. But like, even then, man, I would argue that you're mismanaging your money. You can get better yield out there. You know, even in the broad, you know, if you own the whole market. I don't know. That's just me though. Everybody's response is different.
No, it's really helpful. It's a good point. You know, where else are you going to get that kind of a rate? You know, you got your money invested. You don't need to. You know.
Yeah.
I like that argument a lot. It makes a lot of sense.
And your money, your equity is trapped in your house unless you exercise it at any moment through a refi or whatever. And so, you know, you don't want to necessarily have all your eggs in your housing basket, right? You might want to have that money more liquid, more accessible. And that's what happens. Right. Plus, you get a deduction on the primary.
Yeah, correct.
So, you know, when you stack all that together, I think it makes sense. And again, it's up to everybody. They have their own risk profile.
Yeah, but no, I get the argument. It's a great argument. I like it.
Cool. Any other questions? Cool. We got in the chat a good accountant recommendation. So take that down if you guys need it. The graphic, right? Right. Make it fun. Make it weird. Make it different. Make it memorable. Make it short.
Well, you want to be associated with real estate, right, Joe?
Maybe.
I was thinking, no.
I don't know. So the website's only as good as the traffic you drive to it. So no website is really going to have the positioning at this stage in the game to rank organically unless you do a lot of backlinks and a ton of stuff. It's going to cost you a lot of money to put that together. So it's really going to be about where you drive that traffic. And, you know, a lot of that's either going to be driven from YouTube or billboard or a radio ad or, you know, any of those things. And so in those regards, it just needs to be memorable so that it can be said on the radio, for instance, or seen as you're driving by.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions from the field?
Of course, the interesting thing I've never asked you, John, because I've been in Western states and maybe you've seen them. What do you feel about advertising on the size of box trucks? You know, your big real estate ad running around in all those delivery trucks, like I've seen down in some other states.
I like it when it's my own
You
truck.
think that draws attention, or is that kind of a waste of advertising?
It can. I like it when it's my truck and it's like, use this truck with your move, and then I let my database utilize the truck or whatever. Kyle Whistle, our partner, does that. So if you guys have questions about like a moving truck or anything, we can set you up with Kyle. He's happy to give you the details on how to set that up for yourself. I think that's cool. I think getting supplies that you let your database use is cool, like a snow cone machine and margarita machine and a leaf blower and a snow blower, and you know, and I think creating snow removal services for your clients is cool, and have people come and you know, clear out their driveway during, you know, big snow, or do it for the elderly or people who need it. There's a million ways to kind of get it out there. When it comes to just general promotional stuff, it has a lot to do with like what your funnel looks like, and are you really going to drive traffic from that concept in a meaningful way that's then going to get captured, that's going to get followed up on and going to turn a profit. I'd say it's rather complicated. It can be interesting to get, you know, new traffic, and if you can pick up remnant or get it cheap with a good negotiated deal where it's not full price, right? Especially now, kind of still the economy coming back and whatnot. I know a lot of people have cut their advertising budgets, and so that's my opinion. It's complicated, so it really depends on what you're going to do with it. But it could definitely be interesting. I just like it better when it's my own thing. That way, I just have to buy it once, and I don't have to pay it on a contract. Anybody else?
Hey, John, I just wanted to say hi to you, Jim Ford over here.
Hey, Jim, how's it going, man?
Good, good. You're looking good.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you popped on.
Yeah, did my students pop on today?
I don't believe we have any of your students who showed up, but we did personally invite, like, I don't know, 15 of them. So it's okay. I know the time is weird. We record these. We will have it available for them outside of this, you know, for the ones that have jobs or dual careers or things. But
good.
Yeah, happy to have your people jump on every week. And as I think you missed this part, but because I have a really great recording that I want everybody to watch that's regarding how to win in multiple offer kind of bidding war scenarios, I decided I would just kind of keep it to question and answers today, and kind of give people some time to check that out. So we've gone about a half hour now. Any other burning desire questions that we can address before we wrap it up? Just what does Joe Turco want for his birthday? Just kidding. Now that he's off the call, we can give the real details.
Yeah, we can tease him now. Yeah.
You gotta PM me if you want to know what he wants for his birthday. And yes,
When's his birthday?
It is his picture on a box truck. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Well, this is super fun today. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate that you guys make time to make it here. And shoot me a PM and I will send you right back the recording to check out. In fact, actually, let me see if I can drop it in the chat right now for you guys. Give me 1 second. Might be able to do this if I am smart enough. Chat, paste, boom. Do you guys get that?
Thank you.
So you can check it out right away, or you can watch it on there live once it renders. It's not, I don't think it's done rendering, but if you want to watch it right away, just download it and then it'll open up on your computer. But it's about an hour. It's a really cool course, and it's really, really well thought out. I wouldn't share it. It's not my content, so I wouldn't share it if I didn't love it. So there you guys go.
It's great. Thank you,
Happy
John.
hunting. Yeah, you're welcome. Happy hunting out there, guys. Hit me up if you need anything in the meantime. I'm always around. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.